Well, problem 24. The steps in the solution of x minus 5 equals 2 times the quantity 4x minus 3 are shown below, but they are not in the correct order. Arrange the solution steps in order. Sometimes the easiest way to solve a problem like this is just to solve the problem. We have x minus 5 is equal to 2 times the quantity 4x minus 3. That is the original equation. Then order of operations says the next thing we need to do is distribute the 2. X minus 5 is equal to 2 times 4x, that's 8x. 2 times negative 3, negative 6. We want all the x's on one side, we want everything else on the other side. So I subtract x from each side. X minus x is 0, minus 5 is equal to 8x minus x, 7x minus 6. Now I want x all by itself, so I must add 6 to each side. Negative 5 plus 6 is equal to 1. 7x plus 0 is 7x. 6 minus 6 is 0, still on track. Next, I want 1x, so I divide both sides of my equation by 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1, so that gives me 1x on the right and 1 over 7 on the left. We have a correct, complete solution. Let's compare it to what they did. The original equation is first. That's too far, sorry. Here we go. The original equation is first. Next, we distributed, so that is going to be step number 2. The third thing we did is simplify. Let's see, x minus 5. Here we combined like terms. Negative 5 is equal to 7x minus 6. So that is, first, here's my original equation. Then I applied the distributive property. Next we subtracted x from both sides. That's the subtraction property of equality. I got ahead of myself. There is number 3. Then we combined like terms. Negative 5 is equal to 7x minus 6. So this must be step 4. Next we added 6 to both sides. So that is going to be step 5. Then we simplified our expression. And combined like terms. So after adding 6 to both sides, we have 1 equals 7x. That must be step 6. Then we divided both sides by 7, the division property of equality. So that must be step 7. And step 8 is our solution. 1 over 7 is equal to x. That is step 8. Okay. Now, the next problem, 25, is similar in a way. 25 says a student solved the equation 5 times the quantity a plus 3, no, 5 times the quantity a plus 5 minus 3 is equal to 3 times the quantity 2 minus a. Is the student's solution correct? If so, state a property of equality or an explanation. If not, identify the error, then write a correct solution. So, as we go through this step by step, let's see whether every step is correct and complete and uses a property. Here is the original equation. Next, we must use the distributive property. 5 times a is 5a. 5 times 5 is 25, minus 3 is equal to 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times negative a is negative 3a. That's the distributive property. So far, so good. Next, we simplify. 25 minus 3 is equal to 22. 5a stays where it is. We cannot combine these terms. 6 minus 3a, we can do nothing with that either. It's still just 6 minus 3a. So here we are simplifying. Next, we add 3a to both sides. That is the addition property of equality. And the reason we do that is we want all the a's on the same side of the equation. So now 5a plus 3a is 8a plus 22 on the left. 6 minus 3a plus 3a is 0. That gives us 6 on the right. We have combined like terms. Next, we subtract 6 from both sides, which is a bit of the long way around, but mathematically it's perfectly acceptable. When we subtract 6 from both sides, we are using the subtraction property of equality. (22 minus 6 is 16. 16 plus 6 is 22. 6 minus 6 is 0. So here we are simplifying. Next, we subtract 16 from each side. We do that with the subtraction property of equality. Now we combine like terms again, or we simplify, whatever you prefer. I prefer calling it simplified just because we're working here only with numbers. Now we divide both sides by 8. That's the division property of equality. And finally, we simplify to get our answer. And they may have used a couple of extra steps, but everything is correct. But let's just double check by substituting negative 2 into the original equation. 5 times negative 2 plus 5. We hope that it's going to be equal to 3 times 2 minus negative 2. Be careful of that double negative here. That could get us into trouble if we weren't careful. Negative 2 plus 5 is equal to 3, so we have 5 times 3 equal to... Wait, I didn't copy the original equation correctly. 5 times negative 2 plus 5 minus 3. minus 3 is equal to 3. 2 minus negative 2 is the same as 2 plus 2, and that's equal to 4. 5 times 3 is 15 minus 3. Is that equal to 3 times 4, which is 12? 12 is equal to 12. The solution is correct, complete, and we can prove it.